Welcome back, Nightmares, to a new video, and I am so excited, so excited about this video for two things. I cannot believe that we're almost at 400 subscribers. It literally happened like overnight, and I'm shook. But I'm so glad that you guys love to come hang out and watch my videos that I make for you guys. But today, this is a very special video, and I'm gonna try to not get sidetracked the best that I can because I'm so excited. So, if you are a Neil Gaiman fan, if you are a Sandman fan, if you are a Vertigo comics fan, you know that this right here is one of the hardest things to find. I also want to apologize. I'm not in my rural, quiet, back home town. I am sadly back home. Not sadly. I'm back home where it's noisy, where there's traffic, where there's neighbors, you know. So I do apologize for any of the background sound. I really do. I hope you can bear with me and forgive me. I truly do. And so this is the Vertigo Tarot. It is, I've seen it go for anywhere between $200 to $500. The original 90s one. Now the second edition that came out in the early 2000s, I've seen that go a little cheaper, anywhere from $100 to $300. But you won't believe the absolute steal of a deal I got this for. So I was gonna break down for my birthday, which is coming up in April. I was gonna break down and buy this one that I saw on eBay for like $175. I was like, yeah, it was the cheapest one I found, you know, so I was like, why not? I'm glad I didn't, because I checked Mercari and I got this bad boy for $50. What? $50, I know. I couldn't pass it up. I was just like, yeah, I gotta buy it. I gotta buy it. So I did. And this is my first time physically touching it since I got home from my trip. So I flew out Christmas Eve to visit family. This showed up the day before, and I just had to eye the package while I was leaving, and I was like, oh, I want to look at it. I want to like take it out and look at it. But I'm glad that it was here when I came home to look at, because we're gonna look at it together. So this is the first edition Vertigo Tarot from the 90s, and if you know me, I am an avid Sandman fan. Wow. I mean, Sadman's kind of fitting. Morpheus is a very sad man, but that's besides the point. I'm a huge Sandman fan. I'm also a huge Neil Gaiman fan, so much so I have like an entire shelf dedicated, and I've done other videos showing some of my other Sandman collectibles, and I think I unboxed for my first video, it was like the American Gods graphic novel. But we got this today, so I'm gonna take it out, show it to you guys, and we're gonna do a little 3-card reading, as I haven't read this deck yet. And of course I am gonna read from the book because it comes with a hardcover book, and I have to. I have to. So this one opens up like so, like that, and look at that beautiful artwork. So I got two things. So the first one is the hardcover tarot book with this is my favorite texture of paper. And on the inside box it says divination right here. Oh, it says divination actually, like all over it. That's pretty cool. All the swirly words are divination repeated. if you look really close, all those swirly words are just distorted divination. And on the back, we got what looks like a couple little conch shells. It says the Vertigo Tarot. So, the main event, still in the original box, and of course it is a little weathered, it's a little old, and that's okay. It's from the 90s. What did I expect? It says the Vertigo Tarot on each side, and you can see it a little bit better how it says divination for the words. It says Vertigo Tarot on each side. I'm so excited. I'm gonna open this, and this is my genuine first reaction. I'm so afraid to like damage the packaging. Oh my god. So the woman I bought these from, she did tell me that she regularly read this deck, so the cards are a little worn, let's put it that way. They're a little, the edges aren't as pristine, I guess, but that doesn't upset me any. So, we got some of the artwork here. The back of them says the Vertigo Tarot. Oh, they're even prettier in person. Oh god. So, I just want to make sure that they're kind of laying the right way, so when I shuffle them for the first time, I'm, not having flip-flopped cards. So I'm gonna close this and put it off to the side here. And I'm gonna set the box over here as well. And let's take a look at this book together. It says, Dave McKean is born in 1963 in Maidenhead, England. He is a regular contributor to the New York Magazine and a frequent illustrator, photographer, and designer for record and book covers, including recent releases by Michael Nyman, Alice Cooper, The Rolling Stones, Frontline Assembly, Buckethead, Tori Amos, and Bill Bruford's Earthworks. And he's won many awards, including the AMID Award for the Best Album Cover of the Year for Michael O. Swilbiane's Cicade, and the World Fantasy Award for his ongoing Sandman covers, and a variety of awards for his comics and graphic albums, which include Violent Cases, Signal to Noise, and Mr. Punch, all with author Neil Gaiman, and the 500-page comic novel Cages. He is currently working on new comics for Pictures That Tick, film, CD-ROM, and music projects, as well as an exhibition and monograph of the photographs called A Small Book of Black and White Lies. He lives in the Kent countryside with his partner Claire and his baby Yolanda, and several hundred CDs from Abercrombie to Zorn. So, Dave McKean did the art for these cards. And of course the book was written by Mr. Neil. And there is a lot of filler in this book, a lot of words. So it's definitely very detailed. So I'm trying to get to the part where it starts to go into what the cards mean. Here we go. This starts the major arcana. 17 pages, Neil, to get to the major arcana. I'm kidding. But no. Let's see, yes. Okay, that's what I needed. So, That way, when I go to read, I could just get to the point. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to shuffle these. So because they're a little large, I can't really, shuffle them how I want to. And because of their age, I'm just gonna kind of do it like this. Because I want to keep these as well preserved as I can. Because not only am I a collector, but I feel like this is a piece of history in a weird way. And there's so few of these out there anymore in perfect condition, or as close to perfect as you can get for the 90s. Oh. There's our first card. Our second one. I usually kind of let them pop out at me when I shuffle, or if they fall out, I have to. That's how it works for me, but I recognize it's different for everyone. There we go. I apologize, I actually had to turn on my heater today. It's 29 degrees outside. I'm done with it. So for our first card, we got the Five of Swords. And this is your past situation. For our second card, we've got the Three of Swords. Ooh, it's very rare I get two in the same suit. This is your present situation. And we got, for your future, the Ace of Wands. I don't like not having a major arcana in there, so I'm gonna do one more card just to 3-card. I guess we're doing a 6-card reading because this just doesn't feel complete, in my opinion. That's just me. I don't know. I really like things to seem full, but this feels like it's telling part of a story. And I don't have all the details. I can't count the amount of times I've read for friends. Oh, let's see. There we go. So, the World and Five of Swords for the past situation. When I read for friends, it'll always be like, can I read your cards? 3-card reading. And then I get no major arcana, so I can't get the whole story, and I'm like, hey, 6-card reading. As long as we have one arcana, I can kind of get the idea of what's going on a little bit better. Oh. The Knight of Cups and the Three of Swords. Oh, that actually kind of makes more sense now. I dropped one. Excuse my squeaky chair. Let's see. And we got the Sun for your future. Okay. So I know these are gonna be some breathy pages about what each card means, and I love that. I love that Neil is very detailed with meanings and stuff like that. So we're gonna start. Let's see here. We gotta go through these a bit. So we need to start with the World. Oh, these are really, it's very detailed. That's for sure. The world. So, the art from this comes from the use of Swamp Thing as a fitting end to this journey. But for at least two reasons. The first reason is the fact that John Constantine, our full wanderer, made his own first appearance as a character in Swamp Thing. More broadly, Swamp Thing is a plant elemental, which is to say a representation of the entire plant world. This means that he connects the entire earth through its network of growing things and as an accumulation of the major arcana. The world card reflects all the other cards. In the world, we see how all the Fool's different experiences, from the Magician to Judgment, all belong together, like individual flowers on a single tree. The Fool does not appear in this card, but the two have a strong connection, and the Fool had to give up his innocence and perfection to go through the different stages of the major arcana. In the world, we see a different kind of perfection, one that incorporates the wisdom gained along the way. And the astrological symbol Saturn links the card to death. Notice the extra curl in this version. The Swamp Thing emerged partly from the death of a human named Alex Holland. Observation of the plant world teaches us the great lesson that life can only grow out of death. The traditional picture shows a naked woman dancing within a wreath of flowers or ivy. A sash covers her genitals, and there is a suggestion that she is hermaphroditic, male as well as female. In other words, a complete being. And in this version, we see a female torso without a head. The figure suggests a basic humanity without individual consciousness. Swamp Thing is an outgrowth of all vegetation. His sense of himself as an individual, or male for that matter, is an illusion, derived from his contact with humans. A pure green light fills the card, and tendrils like roots reach down from the upper left, and at the upper right we see what looks like a tear in the page, revealing color codes. This last ironic touch reminds us that it is too a fiction and the real world remains a mystery. So, in your past situation, what I gather from it, that you have found a sense of self and you've tried to seek out perfection within yourself. Perhaps you are working towards making a goal that you've put out for yourself. That's what I grasp from it. So now we have to go to the Suit of Swords. So let's do that. We have the Five of Swords first. So, again, for your past situation. The Five of Swords, as described above, the number 5 in the major arcana signifies loss or difficulties, and if we add this to the painful imagery of the sword suit, we can expect the kind of image we see here. The face is distorted, covered over with a red substance which is too dense and solid for blood, but still conveys pain or anger. And most dramatically, the only sword shown in its entirety actually pierces the person's mouth. Going through both lips as it does, it effectively seals them shut. The traditional meaning for this card is defeat, with attendant ideas of shame and humiliation. The image of the sword through the mouth gives us a sense of people unable to speak about what has happened to them. And the red material forms a mask, a little like the Seven of Cups. But here, the effect is more ugly than mysterious. Even under the mask, the face has become distorted, and the way shame can distort a person's sense of who he or she is. The eyes are out of line with the mouth, and the right eye is stretched as if pulled out of shape, and we see what looks like an ear above or between the eyes, with the possibility of another ear underneath the left eye. The senses of sight and sound have become distorted in the way that people in the physical or emotional plane can become confused, unable to think clearly or focus their attention. So, you sought out to make a goal for yourself, and you did not meet that goal. And because you did not meet that goal, you are in a state of hypervigilance where it is you versus yourself. And I truly believe that you have to overcome that by revisiting your goal, but not being so hard on yourself. We're human after all. So let's go to your present situation. So we're gonna start. So we're in the Suit of Swords, so let's backtrack a couple. And you have the Three of Swords in your present situation, and you have the Five in your past. So, the first tarot deck to include a scene or symbolic imagery on the minor arcana cards was not the Rider-Waite deck, as many people believe. One of the earliest Italian decks known today is the Solabioschi deck, included such scenes where it is painted sometime in the late 15th century. The rider image of the Three of Swords derives directly from the Solabioschi, a picture of the usual symbol for a heart, pierced with three swords. The Vertigo tarot takes this ancient image in a more literal and disturbing direction. The red mass in the center of the card looks like a heart torn from its body and wildly pumping out blood. Though the swords go in front of the heart, if that is what it is, rather than through it, the closed eye with the blood across it increases the feeling of great pain and violence, and the eye is closed here as if unable to look at the sight, and the area of the face is much smaller than on the previous card. Comparing the two pictures, we get a sense of the pain taking over, driving away our humanity. Anyone who has ever gone through a period of depression, or for that matter, long physical pain, will know the feeling of becoming less of a person. Life can become boxed in, encompassing only one thing: anguish. So, I see that these do go together. Perhaps that goal is still causing you grief because you have not achieved that goal. And it's okay to feel this period of sadness over it. Perhaps it's not a goal at all. Perhaps it is a battle you're dealing with in your personal life that feels like a monumental thing to overcome. So we're gonna check out what the Knight of Cups has. Perhaps your situation could get better. Okay, so he puts those all at the end. Weird. I'm very used to it being like king, queen, knight, and then going into the numbers. This is the numbers and then everything after, I'm guessing. Oh. Okay. I'm missing it all together here. Did he put them in a? I think he put all of the pages in like the, you know, king, queen, knight, all that in like a separate section, which is a little weird for me. I apologize. As I said, this is my first time really actually looking at this book, so I'm not an expert at navigating it yet. I do apologize. Knight of Cups. Found it. Here the cups are clearly visible compared to the hidden cup of the page, or the partially concealed cup of the king. In both of these, the cup becomes part of the body, and the queen holds hers like a chalice, and only the knight does not actually touch the 3 cups that appear in the picture. These cups are taken from a detail on the 9 of Cups. Their position here gives them a quality of a single cup falling in slow motion, though they also look like the hour marks on a clock face. The idea of falling invokes the difficulty of knightly action using water energy in a productive way. The armored knight, heroic warrior that he is, does not mix very well with water, whose basic nature is to yield and transform rather than resist. The Knight of Cups may feel a contradiction between his own dreaminess and the demands of his place in the world, like a rock thrown into a still pond. Action, even the need for action, can disturb water's placid surface. The figure and the water around it are not just dissolving like the page, but they are breaking up and splattering, and there's a quality of violation here, possibly pain. The head and the falling cups shatter the tranquility of the suit. Writing appears again, now almost entirely covered and unreadable, and we can make out some words on the page of cups. If the knight were a writer, then the demands of the world would make it hard for him to keep his watery inspiration. Of all the knights, only Cups looks from left to right, and unlike the others, this knight belongs to the feminine, the secret depths of water. So, the knight here, the knight is a dreamer whose dreams conflict with the pressures and responsibilities of everyday life, an inconsistent lover, and he may find it hard to fully join in a relationship. So, this conflict, this portion of sadness, what I'm gathering from this is it is causing conflict not only in your personal life, but perhaps it's causing conflict in your work life, in your relationship. Perhaps it's time to kind of look within yourself and see a way that you could overcome this sadness, this period of anguish. To overcome it, you're gonna have to ask for help. And so, starting with your future situation, you have the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands tells us all aces represent the primary or the root energy of their suit, the source, the beginning from which all the other cards grow and develop. The Wand's element of fire is also about beginnings. Fire energy initiates or sparks creative activity, and thus the Ace of Wands carries a special quality for the start of things. It projects in ideas, action, and movement, even emotions, especially love. The ace signifies the first impulse of creativity. We see the wand rising up through the dark, dense matter with its flame burning brightly. In many traditions, the flame of spiritual truth is said to shine from within the heaviness of the material world. And in general, cards in this suit show a fire burning against a dark background, which may be seen as rocky or wood-like. Here, however, the rough matter takes on the shape of golden wings, rising from the top half of the wand. The wand itself resembles a paintbrush as well as a torch, and the combined images, the wings, the paintbrush, the torch, speak of the power of art. The wand passes through a flat line, drawing of a hand marked with symbols like a talisman. Hands, which appear in the many of wands cards, have symbolized humanity, creativity, and spirituality for tens of thousands of years, and hands are used as charms in the popular religion from Judaism and Islam to Santeria, usually marked like the one shown in the ace. Handprints on cave walls form the earliest known form of human art. Thousands of years later, Michelangelo depicted the creation of human life as the finger of God touching the finger of Adam. The hand, like the Ace of Wands itself, symbolizes creative human action. So, this is good. You have went through your struggle. You have went through your hard times, not meeting your goals, not being where you want to be. And this right here is a break in that, saying no more suffering. You are coming to a place where you are not where you were, and that is good. You don't ever want to be where you were, because if you are not changing, you're not growing. So now, the sun is our next in suit for your future situation. I apologize. I've been up since 6 a.m. and I'm pretty sure you guys can hear my tummy making the rumblies. I haven't ate yet. It's like 10 o'clock. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Promise. Okay. I'm getting better at navigating this book. It's a little chaotic for sure. Let's see. A lot of planes going over today. Here we go. The sun. After the strangeness of the moon and the star, the sun returns us to simplicity. Sometimes we can go through a very difficult night where all of our fears rise up in us. But when the sun comes up, everything seems all right again. The day shines bright and cheerful, and we have passed through whatever crises we have to face. And we feel joyously confident our human, rational selves have returned, and we can put aside all those weird animal howlings from the night before. And at the same time, we do not go back to who we were before the upheaval began. With the devil in the tower, we have emerged stripped of all of our defenses, our postures, all the layers that we have built up against the world. For this reason, the sun virtually always shows children. Other versions show a boy and a girl holding hands in a walled garden. The famous Rider Waite deck depicted a single androgynous baby riding out of a garden on a horse. And the child here is the image of pure joy, a map of the medieval cosmos with the sun radiating from the center. Fills the air above the child's head, and we see rays of light coming from the left side. Instead of leaving a walled garden, the child emerges from a mass of dense rocky matter. and we will look more at the symbolism of this substance in the suit of wands. But we might think of the baby as the liberated soul the Gnostics described as being trapped in the physical world. The animal in the picture resembles a dog as much as a horse, and if so, the child's innocence has tamed the wild beast from the previous card. And from strength, the message of the tarot is that such virtues as strength can control but never overcome our animal instincts. We need to experience all sides of ourselves to become free of the fears and desires we usually keep buried in darkness. So, what I gather completely, now that I have the whole picture before me, you have went through a period of depression. It has been hard. It has taken a toll on you, on the people around you. And you're getting to a point where you can overcome it, but you are also having to heal your bonds with people around you and with yourself. And while you might have gotten out on the other side, there is still damage that has been done. There are still things that need work. And the one thing that stood out to me is that you're getting better, but you're not fully who you were before, and you're not expected to be who you were before. We never really can be our old self when we go through a period of trauma. We are reforged, if you will. We are formed into a new person with new experiences, new lessons, new teachings, and it's how it should be. It is okay to be both healed and unhealed. But what's not okay is to stay where you were and not move forward. So, what I'm gathering is you should keep moving on the path of healing you're on, and you shouldn't give up, even if those results aren't quite what you're wanting to see immediately. They're going to pay off in the long run. Just keep at it and don't give up. And that is my reading for you today. And of course, as always, take what resonates, and if it doesn't, leave it. It's okay. It's not one size fits all, and it doesn't fit everyone, and that's okay. But I'm really grateful to be here and to show you guys something in my collection. I really love sharing my tarot with you guys, and I have so many decks. I'm an avid tarot collector. And of course, these cards aren't going to want to go back in the box the way they're supposed to. I didn't expect anything less. I'm probably going to keep these, in the box once I get them in there, and honestly, I probably will only take these out for special occasions. But I hope you have a great day, a great night, great evening, great morning, good now. And as always, I hope you're doing well. And of course, sweet dreams.